Hachi didn't have a great start in his life.
Ah, he's so cute. Yeah, good boy. Good boy.
He's so fun.
But here in New Boston, he is getting a second chance.
We slowly started our rescue and built up our mission to really revolve around helping those tough dogs that are tougher to adopt, who need that additional support to be successful in adoption.
Kristen Morrissey is the founder of Second Chance Ranch, an 11-acre property where challenged dogs receive love and training. Kristen rescues mixed breeds, including Staffordshire and Pit Bull Terriers, the bully breeds, as some may call them. But the dogs we met are no bullies, just sweet, often misunderstood pups.
The typical dog we help is a New Hampshire owner surrender. So a New Hampshire owner, maybe they've adopted a dog that is not working out in their family for some reason. Maybe the dog is nervous around the kids, not doing well with the other dog. That's the majority, is New Hampshire owners that are struggling with their current dog.
Second Chance works with local families. If someone adopts a dog and it has issues with other pets or children in the household, Second Chance can help socialize the dog and determine if it can go back to that same family, and if not, the ranch will try and find the proper home for the dog.
A lot of southern dogs are coming up to New Hampshire, and people haven't had the opportunity to meet them and get to know them. I'd say we're seeing a lot more of that now. So people are surrendering to us instead of sending that dog back down south.
Hey!
Second Chance also works with southern rescue groups. Adult dogs, especially mixed breeds, are often euthanized down south. Kristen tries to save as many as she can, like this little girl.
This is 9-month-old Mama. Second Chance rescued her from a Georgia shelter where she was in danger of being euthanized. Many dogs come here because they have issues to deal with, but oftentimes they're not in the right environment. Second Chance works to identify those issues to make sure that dogs like Mama here find the right home.
Mama is one of the lucky ones. She found a home after 2 months at Second Chance, but some of these pups are here for months. It's a challenging time as adoptions are down.
We have dogs here that are waiting. We have dogs on our waiting list that we can't help. No dogs out means no dogs in. Right now, adoption applications are more valuable than money. Like, we need adoptions. Of course, you know, as a nonprofit, fundraising is huge, but really the challenge is the adoptions are so slow because I think the impact of COVID really affected rescues, especially a rescue like us, that we have a lot of adult dogs.
Second Chance is a small rescue organization. Kristen and her staff operate it from her home, where she also keeps 2 horses and her rescue pup, Alfredo. You could call Alfredo an intake supervisor. He tries to suss out the newbies to figure out which new dogs might be skittish with others. Paige Armitage works with every dog that comes through the gate. She knows the hardships of their past, and she experiences the rewards when they are transformed.
The dogs that we take in the South, and a lot of surrenders, is a very sad, closed-off dog. And then once we start working with them and, you know, socializing them with humans, dogs, and just fulfilling their every need, you definitely see a more open, happier, very full of life dog.
Oh. And speaking of full of life dogs,
Everything was ready. Hi!
That's what she does. That's her special.
meet Isabella.
You're shameless, but you're so cute.
Isabella is a Second Chance success story.
She's a total snuggle bug, you know, she just loves people.
Bill and Kelly Smith had never owned a pit bull and were not even looking for a dog, but they knew the second they met Isabella, it was a match.
Met Isabella, who very quickly leaned against us and gave us kisses and made it clear that even if we weren't ready, she was going to help us be ready.
Isabella had a bite history with another dog and didn't want a home with kids. She had been returned to Second Chance by her last family, but that didn't daunt Kelly and Bill.
Our last dog didn't like other dogs, and we knew a lot about that, and I think based on that we felt like we were the right people for her because we would understand it, not try to change it or force her into situations that she might find uneasy or apprehensive about.
Isabella is one of the many success stories at Second Chance, and with never a shortage of dogs in need, the goal is for the nonprofit to purchase land and build a large facility. More space means more rescues and more resources for the dogs they can save. But until they find the perfect match, dogs that have been abused, neglected, or abandoned live in a spacious barn with everything a dog should have, including lots and lots of love.
What is it about these dogs that tug at your heart?
I think it really goes back to dogs that wouldn't have a chance without us. I think that's what gets me, is working with dogs that truly would not be here without us. And I think the experience working with those dogs is so rewarding. The bonds that we form, the growth that we see, you know, just giving a dog stable routine, consistent communication, and an amazing adventure. I think, like, seeing a dog thrive in this type of environment, it's one of the most beautiful things, honestly.